That's actually something that's a big philosophy of equity marketing and in the exchange world. I'm on the board of directors of the National Council of Exchangers, and that is something that we talk about a lot. If you know your client and know not just their motivation, but you know them well enough that you can have dinner with them and it's comfortable.
Mm.
And then you can help them better. The whole purpose, the function as a broker is to find them the benefits they need and solve their problem. And if you don't know them well enough to know their problem, then you're just doing transactions, and anybody can do that.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with. His name is Jim Carmichael with the Carmichael Group, and he's been making some serious moves in real estate for quite some time now. He has a statement that I love. They lead with people over property. Jim, welcome in, man. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you, Micah.
Man, excited for you to be here. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching real estate in general and your long arc in it, and how you're finding these new things in the data center world to keep growing your business. So let's dive in. First off, for people who may not be familiar with you, give us the short version, what your main focus is these days, the markets that you're in.
Well, I've been a commercial real estate broker for 25 years in the Northern Kentucky, Greater Cincinnati market, and we've done a lot of things over the course of those 25 years. And about 2018, we started a property management company that led to a residential team. We have full-time maintenance, full-time staff, construction. And those opportunities, as we grew and as we've networked, have led to now we're working in the data center space, as you said. And in particular, we work in edge data centers. They're much smaller than what you hear about in the news oftentimes.
Okay, dig into that a little bit. What's that difference in an edge data center to that term we hear a lot already?
So basically what we build are self-sustaining data centers. We work with a modular model. So it's a modular data center. We create our own power through solar, turbine, hydrogen, of course, battery backups. And we are not a drain on the grid. We actually provide power back to the grid. And instead of being these big 100, 500 megawatts or a gigaplant, we're, a 10 megawatt facility.
Interesting. Okay, we'll keep digging into that more as we go. So you got started in commercial 25 years ago. What was that? Was that your first job you got into? Did you transition from something into real estate? How'd that go?
I was actually a general manager at a mobile home dealership in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I was looking for a new opportunity. And as I put my resume out there, a regional manager from Marcus Millichap saw my experience in the mobile home industry, and I had an interview, and he basically said, "Can you read this P&L?" And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "I can teach you how to sell mobile home parks." And that's how I got started.
Man, okay. From some selling mobile homes to selling the mobile home parks. And then you mentioned a transition in 2018. So you were going along and then things changed. Explain a little bit what happened there.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
It was from the previous recession. Things were very slow for several years, and decided that I wasn't going to be in that position again. So we wanted to make sure there were multiple streams of income. So we basically made the decision to start a property management company. There was an opportunity that presented itself, and that started off strong. And then I sold a client a small multifamily property, and he said, "Do you have anybody you can refer to management?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, we can do that." So we started with those 5 units and have grown it to about 150 doors.
Man. So
And we
kind of, go ahead.
Oh, I just say we manage for clients who buy and sell through our brokerage.
Fascinating vertical to add. So you kind of have a closed market in a way. They come in, you can only work with you if you are working with your team that's helping them buy and sell the property. And so you were in the business a while and then you found this other vertical. I think that's common in the space where if you're in real estate long enough, you're going to go through a market cycle where things get a little bit shaky and then you start looking for that. What's that additional piece that you can add on? How has property management affected your business by adding it? Did it create that stabilization you were looking for?
Yeah, for sure. There are challenges with doing that. I was fortunate to have a partner when we started, so that allowed me to continue to keep my sales volume where I needed it. Because the one challenge that I think agents would get into, or any broker would get into, when you're starting a property management company, it takes so much time that it can eat into your time to prospect or network or do anything sales related. So you have to be able to have a kind of a fine balance, because until you get to about 50 doors, it's tough to have staff. It doesn't work well. But we found a solution for that.
Willing to share?
If you can have a partner, and it's something we do offer to people that want to get into the business, that can handle the back end for you, all the paperwork, collecting, taking in the collections, making sure the rent's collected, making sure the bills are paid, doing all that administrative stuff. If you can get somebody that can take that off your plate for a percentage of your management fees to get you started, it's worth it.
Interesting. So it's that what I see a lot in just business in general is there's always kind of two sides to that coin. There's there's one piece where it's running, and on the other piece, all the nuts and bolts that make sure it just keeps going. Typically, you might be good at one and lack the other. And you said that you had a partner. How important has that partnership really been to growing things bigger?
The partnership was an integral part of getting to the point where it made sense to not have a partner anymore.
Okay.
And it just made good sense. We split off January 1 of 24 officially. It just made sense then to where the portfolio that I had under management was sustainable to where I could have staff take care of things instead of having a partner.
Gotcha. Now, through this journey, we let out with a statement that you said in our pre-call where people had to go. People are more important than the property. Let's dig in there. Where'd that philosophy come from? How have you used it during your time in real estate?
That's actually something that's a big philosophy of equity marketing and in the exchange world. I'm on the board of directors of the National Council of Exchangers, and that is something that we talk about a lot. If you know your client and know not just their motivation, but you know them well enough that you can have dinner with them and it's comfortable. And then you can help them better. The whole purpose, the function as a broker is to find them the benefits they need and solve their problem. And if you don't know them well enough to know their problem, then you're just doing transactions, and anybody can do that.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors. and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Find that in the real estate industry that you run into that transactional business a lot, and it can kind of be easy to fall into, especially in the brokerage space, because it can become just you just focus on the deal that's right in front of you. This right here. How have y'all made sure to keep that people are the most important forefront in your business?
It's really it's how we operate, and even when we interview a new client, we lead with that. The people are more important than the property. If there comes a time that you're not satisfied with either the service we provide or what we're doing, I would rather part ways in the business than lose the relationship. And we've done that. Unfortunately, it's had to happen a few times over the years.
Well, I mean, nobody's ever a good fit for everybody. Like, it doesn't work out. And I like how you're leading into just saying that up front, because there's so much pressure in those early relationships, especially if you're someone that doesn't know what's going on. You're trying to get into it. You're placing so much trust in this person in front of you that if they're not being intentional about it, it's not that difficult to take advantage of somebody. It's not that difficult to do something with is what for them is the largest financial transaction they're probably making. It's a big deal. So I appreciate that you view it that way.
Yeah, we work with a lot of out of state and out of country investors. I have had many investors buy properties sight unseen. Some have never seen the properties, and
That's
they
not by
rely
accident.
on.
Yeah, that's not by accident. You definitely need a strong relationship to be able to sell that way. And as someone who's been in sales quite some time too, it's the philosophy that I agree with. If you really show up and are willing to tell somebody no, then when you tell them yes, it actually matters, right? It's a good fit for them, because if that fit's not right, it just doesn't work. Now you're behind the eight ball out of the gate.
Yeah, and you have to be you have to be in that position to be able when people know you're in that position, they know you're not just trying to make a commission off of them.
Mhm. Yeah.
When you say, "Look, don't buy that," that that gives some trust, you know.
I learned sales. I was first in insurance is how I got into sales originally. And the lady that taught me, she called it the takeaway. It's the most powerful move in sales to build trust. Tell them that that's not the one. That ain't it. Like, listen to what they actually want. And if what you have isn't it, you will create a lifelong customer by telling them no. And that kind of one seeing it as a young 20-year-old, like, holy cow, that's a powerful move. And it really just takes the secret sauce of actually caring. That's it. Actually care, and you can create this business that you want in a way that fuels your life too outside of work. Doesn't just make your bank account big. You teach your kids to be good people. You show them what it looks like to treat people well. It benefits everybody.
We see our clients often. We had a client visit a couple weeks ago. We're actually going next week to go visit one of our clients in Florida. We see each other, we break bread, we hang out.
Almost like a community inside the business itself. So gearing it around that.
For sure.
How does that work for sticking power? You said you've lost a few, but the customers you do have, they seem to stay around a long time when they're a good fit.
Well, yeah. And even the ones that I've had to say, the ones that I've had to turn away have been usually related to the property management side, where they wanted to do things on the cheap and it's just not how we do things, or for whatever reason that relationship wasn't working out. We've still remained in a relationship with them to do other business, whether it's, they still buy and sell through me.
Wow. And that's the benefit of having those multiple levers in your business for the
Yeah.
sustainability. But also, if someone's not a good fit in this section, they're still a good fit in this section. You don't lose the bottom line money by not being able to still work with them.
Yeah. There's very few people we've had to just flat out tell go away. We don't. That's not what we're trying to do, but if things aren't a fit, we have turned down business. I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, I've got a portfolio of these 30, low end homes that I need management for. And this is how, this is my business model." And I said, that just isn't a fit for us. We're not going to do that.
So you're caring. What I like about that is it's not just the people you're working with, it's your team too. That
For
they're
sure.
also people, because if you're not setting them up to succeed, and you mentioned it earlier that issue with staffing, there was that time in the partnership where it was viable, and then once you were able to staff, having good people is one of the hardest things in business in general.
It is the biggest challenge. And you go through, unfortunately, you'll go through several people to find the fit. And we've been really fortunate. It's taken us some time, but we have a really good staff right now. And
What's
hopefully,
been in your experience, what's been that big challenge to get to that good staff? What was if you're going to tell somebody, here's what to look out for and even how to move faster through it, what would you say?
I'll use a Gary Vee quote: hiring is guessing, firing is knowing.
Okay.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
It's hard to say. I've interviewed people that interview well, they look great on paper, and they come in here and it's just a nightmare. And I've hired some people that, I didn't think were going to be very good that turned out to be exceptional.
So it goes both sides.
Yeah, you just never know.
How would you say knowing your own core philosophy helps with that process?
Give people a chance, give them that 90 days, and you'll know in 90 days if they're a fit. And if they're not, but believe me, nobody hates firing people more than me. It's
It's the worst.
stressful.
It is, man. It's hard because you didn't start out that way. You didn't think that's how it was going to go. Because I love that Gary Vee quote: hiring's guessing, firing's knowing. And that's that. In my own experience of having to do it before, it is still actually caring, because
Yeah.
if it's done correctly, it should move their life forward. You're not letting them go because everything's great. That's not what we do typically in business. And it's holding you back, your team back. There's nothing that can spoil a good team like a bad hire. It kills morale quickly.
And I haven't fired anybody that didn't know it was coming. They
Right?
knew.
You typically
knew.
do. I would agree with that. That's very rarely is it blindsided. Now, what have you been working on lately besides real estate? We were talking a little bit about a book before. What's the name of that book? And tell me a little bit about it.
I just released a book called Travel for Success: How to Increase Your Productivity by Getting Out of Town Every 6 weeks.
Let's dig into that.
It's something my fiance and I, we travel a lot. I noticed a few years ago there's a pattern to productivity before you leave for a trip and when you come back from a trip. And it's just like everybody gets ready for their family vacation, right? And you got this to-do list. I have to finish X, Y, and Z before I leave. Well, when you apply that to your business, it's the same thing. You become laser focused on all the high priority stuff that has to get done before you leave. You delegate what you have to your staff or to somebody that can help you. And then all the B stuff gets pushed to when you get back. And that everything that's a B becomes an A when you get back. So you have these, and then plus when you're gone, things happen that become a priority that following week. So really that following week stretching into that second week become very productive as well. So now all of a sudden I have 3 very, very, or 2.5 to 3 very productive weeks where your time management gets better and you're able to accomplish more just because you plan to leave. And even if it's just take a 3 or 4, start off slow, take a 3-day weekend, take a work day off, get out of town, and you have to lead up to that day off, and you'll find you'll be more productive those few days before, and then you just kind of increase it. So, it's pretty common. We have 4 meetings a year in Las Vegas, so we're gone typically 4 to 6 days for that. We have about 10 exchange meetings a year we travel to, among other things. So we've gotten this kind of system down to where we know kind of how to plan our week before, how to plan out our week after, and you just become hyper productive. Your time management gets better. It's a nice system, especially if you like to get out of town. Because if you don't, in any entrepreneur, especially in sales, burnout is easy.
Mm-hmm.
You can only push for so long. You need a little relief to just exhale, take a deep breath, have a change of scenery, get a new perspective, come back to work fresh. And once you've got it down to where, you're used to leaving every 6 weeks, you'll find yourself going to 5 weeks, and then maybe 4 weeks. That's what we do. We've
Trends
gotten it
down,
down.
but
We like
it's
to
a
travel.
fascinating pattern from productivity to almost knowing there's a light at the end of that tunnel where it's like, I'm going to sprint for this long and then take this time off. Now, have you noticed it get easier to quote unquote be off the longer you've done this? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with being off. When they're not at their business, it doesn't mean their brain turns off. What have you done to help yourself
Well,
there?
yeah, well, turning your brain off is a challenge, but if you're traveling with the intent to turn your brain off, you can. You can get up in the morning, check your emails, make sure there's nothing emergent that has to take place. Technology allows for, a good percentage of your work can be done right from your phone.
Hmm.
So if there is something urgent, you can take care of it. But for the most part, get up, take a walk on the beach, don't do anything, relax a little bit, have some breakfast, check your emails, nothing emergent. You got your phone in your pocket if something comes up. Otherwise, just turn off.
One of the coaches I work with, his name's Dr. Jeff Spencer. He uses the terms implementation is when you're in action, and then receivership, whereas it's those intentional moments where it is actually beneficial, like you discover, to turn it off. You do your best work if you learn how to turn off, which is not what most of us are taught in the entrepreneurship world, that you just kind of crank that engine up and never stop. But if you don't stop, you will burn out. That's one thing he coaches with on. There's a lot of men in their mid 40s and 50s that he works with on that very thing. They've worked for so long, their tank's almost empty. We're getting close to physical issues happening at that point, because if you don't hit the brake at all, eventually you run out of gas every time.
For sure. Even on our business trips, we'll leave a day early to go enjoy the town that we're going to and turn off.
So even just as small as adding a day to something you're already traveling to can have a good effect.
Oh yeah. And we've seen lots of shows in Vegas. We have 4 meetings a year there, and so we've seen good shows, good hockey games, good
Heck
restaurants.
yeah. That's my jam right there. Get to a good restaurant. There's nothing like good food. That is an experience in itself. I will travel for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, Jim, I really appreciate the conversation, man. If someone wants to touch base with you, possibly work with you or get a copy of that book, what's the best way to reach you?
Probably go to jimcarmichael.com, or my email address is 1031jc@gmail.com.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect, man. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. I think we need more people in the space doing it like you're doing it, especially that people over property mentality. I love that. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to the Real Estate Pros podcast. We've got more conversations coming up with folks just like Jim who are creating real businesses in the real estate space. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.